Okay, it's about 6:15 in the morning, and I'm just below. I'm just below the ceiling. This cloud layer is just above me, and I'm expecting it to lift as the day goes on here, so I don't expect it to get fogged out. But I had 2 days off. I was stuck at camp for 2 days because of the fog. But last night, because we get wind, like thermal winds, coming up the channel, and every night it dies off. Well, last night it didn't. It was windy all night. I can hear the boat clanging against the dock, and the wind had changed direction. It was flowing east this time, up the channel, and didn't really seem to change much in this morning. But the ceiling was high enough that we could get to work today. So I wasn't looking forward to having 3 days off and camp, because it's a camp that's not near a sort, so there's no logging roads. You can go onto shore and walk up any roads or anything and at least do something, get off the barge, but you can't do that. You're stuck on the barge. So at least internet's okay. We got a Starlink dish, but it's pointing, the way it's pointing, it's right at the mountain that we're docked against, because from the ocean, the hill comes straight out of the water, the mountain comes straight out of the water and goes, it's really steep, goes straight up. So we get spotty internet sometimes. Yeah, so first thing I gotta do is I have to get this snag right here. Right at the end of the day, I had just cleared it open. I just fell the last few trees that were in the way right at the end of the day. And that's the first thing I'm gonna get, is that snag right there. Try and get a slow-mo. I'll see, I'll try and get one. And then I'll be working over here. So we're right there. And then I'll be working up into here, getting all of this. I'm not sure how much I'll get. I just have to work up to the ridge. And then once I get worked up to the ridge, I'll turn the camera on. Yeah, so once I get it worked up to the ridge here, somewhere up into there, I might get all this, I don't know yet. And then I'm going to jump over, either start right in here or jump down over there. I don't think I got it on camera with the helicopter, but there's an opening all along here. A couple guys last shift put in, I don't know, a week or two, I'm not sure how long, but there's a pretty good sized opening that they've worked in right there, and it's not even that steep, but apparently there's a lot of saplings. And all this right here is out. It's a leaf patch that won't be felled, that'll be left standing. Yeah, you can see one ribbon right down there. There's the boundary right there. So yeah, I haven't even been over there yet, so I'm not exactly sure where the best spot to start is, but I'm thinking it's probably over there. It's not right here. I think it's probably over there. And I don't see a marked trail anywhere, so I'll have to cut a new one, unless it's on some walk logs. No, I don't see any ribbon trail, so that'll be something I have to do later today. I'm expecting to get this done early. I don't think the line wraps around the hill. It doesn't look like it on the map. So yeah, anyways, let's get to work. Oh, and then because I had 2 days off, of course, I forgot to throw this in the chopper. The last day I was up here. This is gonna be a new axe handle. And it's pretty clear. There's one tiny knot there. This is the first yellow cedar I've seen this whole shift. For 2 weeks, I haven't seen one yellow cedar. This is the first one. It was a gnarly, small one. It was all cat face and twisted. And this is the best piece I could get out of it. And of course, I forgot to throw it in the chopper. And then I had 2 days off. Could have had 2 days. I was sitting around a camp doing nothing, and I could have been busy making a new axe handle, because I'm down to one axe right now. Of course. So yeah, so I'll put away at this after work every day, and I got the tools. Only thing is, though, the angle grinder in the shop is this old antique angle grinder, and the on button doesn't stay on. You have to physically hold it, so you have to hold it in this awkward position, and of course that safety shield's not there. Oh man, and then there is no bench vise outside, so I got to do it inside the little shop room, which is going to be covered in sawdust. They might not be too happy about that, but oh well, I'll try my best to clean it up. But it'll keep me busy after work. Okay, I'll see you down at that snag. Well, the ceiling has come down, the fog layer, or fog cloud, whatever you want to call it. Right in the treetops over there. And if I look, my pad is just right there, and I can see that it's in the treetops. The fog is in the treetops, just above the pad. Look at that tree over there, or those trees up there. See, that one there is in the fog, way up there. That one's in the fog. I mean, I can still see the top, but it's pretty foggy. Yeah, you see it behind me, eh? The wall of white there should be a mountain right there. You should be able to see it. And the reason that's an issue for all you new viewers is if it's too foggy, the helicopter can't come pick us up. The only way we can get up here and get back down to the barge camp is by helicopter. It'd take us all day to hike down in the ocean because we're way up a valley and then up the hill from the valley bottom. So, and there's a bunch of cliffs, steep ravines. So where I am, I'm right in the fog. My pad's right in the fog. But there's 3 other guys, and this block's big. There's 3 other guys that are way down the hill because it's a steep block, eh? So the bottom of the block is like way down the hill, a couple hundred meters. Well, a couple hundred meters, yeah, to the bottom where the lowest pad is. And there's 3 guys below me, and they have their own pads down the hill. You can't see it, but it's through the trees here, way down the hill. And the helicopter can get to that pad, or those pads. And also, you may think, well, why don't I just walk down those lower pads, which I can, real easy, no problem. But that's not the issue. The issue is if I get hurt, like I crush my spine, my pelvis, break my neck, anything like that. And then what they'd have to do is, say that happened, then the fog came in, right? Or say I kept cutting when I'm not supposed to, and I got hurt. Well, what would have to happen at that point is they would have to fly a stretcher in to a lower pad because the helicopter can't get to me, right? Because it's too foggy. So I had to fly to the lower pad, and then guys would have to pack up that stretcher to me. Just all takes time, do the first aid, and then because the helicopter can't get to where I'm hurt, they have to pack me all the way down to the lower pad where the helicopter can land, shut down, because the helicopter has to shut down to put the spine board with me on it in the helicopter because you have to take the frame apart. You have to take the whole door off, which is connected to the frame, take that all off, which you have to shut down the helicopter to do that. Although we're in a 500 right now, so that's a 206. You'd have to do that with the 500. You just slide in. You just lay on the whole back seat. It's a big bench in the back seat of the 500. But anyways, regardless, that takes time. So I shouldn't be working, right? Because all the extra time, I could be dead. So for safety, you want to have it so that if you get hurt, the helicopter can fly a stretcher, and like a basket stretcher, spine board, and first aid kit and everything directly to you. And then they can do first aid immediately. And then when, say it's like really steep ground and I'm a long ways away from the pad, or there's not enough guys to pack me to the pad, to the nearest pad, well then they would just airlift me up to the closest pad. Or sometimes even if it's conventional, like to the road, because even some conventional blocks are really big and it's a long ways to the back end. Or if you're at the bottom of the block, it's a long ways up to the road. And then they'll fly you to, in this situation, they'll fly you to the pad, and then it would land on the pad and throw you in the helicopter, which is like way faster, way, way, way faster. Like you're talking like half an hour faster or longer, because sometimes, like, if you did have to pack a guy up to a pad, because there's only one pad in a block, and you're below it, and you get in a steep ground, and you got 4, 5, 6 guys, and you get a pack. Say a guy weighs 200 pounds, and you're packing 200 pounds, like 300 vertical feet up the super steep hill. That takes time. So that's why you don't work in the fog for safety. So if you get hurt. Yeah, so that's my rambling. But it is, yeah, it's getting a little better. It's brightening up. It's like 7 in the morning or something like that. It's early. The sun, it's another like 2 hours before the sun comes over that mountain over there. So it's going to get a lot brighter. And the last couple days, because I was fogged out the last 2 days, in the last 2 days, the fog lifted like all day. It was just gradually lifting from morning. And the reason I didn't work, like put a half a day in or whatever, is because we can't work past 1 o'clock, I think it is, because fire regulations. We're in extreme heat advisory, and you need 2 days of recovery before you can get out of that extreme heat zone or whatever you call it, rating. So we still have to do 1 hour. I think it's 1 hour fire watch. I don't do it. Other guys volunteer to do it because they get paid for it. So I couldn't even put a part day in because by the time the fog lifted enough for me to go in, it was already close to quitting time, and we couldn't. Like if it wasn't a high fire hazard rating, you know, it's light till like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So I could have started at like noon and went to 6, but because of that fire rating, I couldn't do it. So that's my rambling. While I'm waiting for the fog to lift. There's no room for me to jump down there. If there was room, I'd just pack my gear down there and cut down there for the day, but there's no room. And like we're just gonna wait for a bit, and if it doesn't look like it's getting much better, then I'll just hike down lower pad, fly out, and just that'll be it for me for the day, and the other guys can keep working. It's just way it goes, eh? It's just way it goes. Sometimes you're the lucky one and you get to keep working where you are, and sometimes you're in the bad spot and you get fogged out, which is what happens to me right now. So, but I think it's gonna get better. Yeah, I think I'll follow my chain up. Something to do. Okay, if I do end up going back to work, I'll see you guys in the next tree. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. I misjudged the lean on that one. It has a big swoop like this. I thought most of the weight was going that way, but the swoop went like this, and most of the weight is actually going that way. So I misjudged that one. Oh, easy wedging though. Easy peasy. Need more lift. Oh yeah, it's going easy. Just shifted downhill. I might break off down the hill. Has a pretty good downhill lean to it. Let's see what happens here. Look how hollow that was. Wow. Yeah, I probably should have tried to fall that way. It would have been better, but I thought it was leaning this way. The whole tree had a big swoop to it, so I misjudged the lean. Oh, it was easy wedging though. Yeah, I guess I'll stand on that stump. Only safe place to bucket. Yeah, that'll be my first cut. My second cut will be up at the pivot point up there. You can make a little longer log than the weight card says because it's all hollow, so it'll be a little bit lighter. But for now, I got a bucket, only place where it's safe to do so. Okay, I got that done. Now the reason I changed my plan and I bucked it way up at the pivot point instead of that spot right by that stump is because I figured all the overhang might split the wood, might break off before I finish cutting it all. And I also wasn't sure if the rest of the tree was going to pivot up the hill. And then, so I went to the pivot point, but I had to come back just a little bit because right at that spot where I originally wanted to cut by the pivot point, it was caked in dirt because it's smushed into the ground there, so I had to come back just a little bit. And it worked out great, there's no problem. So that's the thing out here in the bush, you gotta be willing to change your plan 10 times in 10 minutes. Like as soon as you get new info, process it and like, okay, I gotta change my plan because I've realized something else. So don't always stick to the plan because that's what you decided 10 minutes ago. If you see something you didn't notice before, then incorporate that into what you're doing and you might have to change your plan. That's just how it works out here. You work with Mother Nature, and it's more of an art than a science out here. So safety is number one. And so, yeah, that's why I decided to cut by the pivot point, because I figured it was a safer spot to do it. And it's less likely to break wood, and it worked out great. Okay, so I'll have to buck this yellow cedar right here. Take a short log off that, and then show you up the hill. I just have a thin little strip before I hit the ridge here. Got some smaller trees, some understory saplings, and a few smaller cedars. Then we'll be up to the ridge, and then in no time I'll be cutting trail over my new spot. So it's going on pretty good so far. Day's going by pretty fast. So yeah, it's amazing how warm it is right now with this cloud cover. I would assume it would be a lot cooler out, but it's actually surprisingly warm up here. Yeah.